I worked from home today, which meant at some point I had to face the dreaded task of preparing my own lunch. Now, my freezer is a kind of archaeological site. Layers of forgotten meals are preserved in there, like frozen fossils. Some are leftovers from takeout orders I made many weeks ago. Others are the usual suspects, mostly chicken because it's easy to cook. I tend to stock it up and then forget about it until months later when, like Mariah Carey's Christmas song, it thaws back into relevance. Inevitably, I dig down into the icy depths and resurface with chicken. But today, I ventured into uncharted territory. I uncovered a pack of minced meat I didn't even remember buying, buried like treasure. I'm not sure what possessed me to buy it in the first place. Maybe I was trying to impress Milady into thinking I was sophisticated in the kitchen. Newsflash, it worked. Having salvaged it from the frost like the Titanic, I turned to TikTok for guidance. A dozen videos later, each promising the easiest minced meat recipe ever, I felt armed enough to give it a shot. Armed with no apron, I went wild. I threw all sorts of things into that pan, even squeezed in some orange juice for good measure. Then I remembered a forgotten item in my cupboard: pink salt. I bought it 2 years ago in some misguided burst of culinary ambition. Back then, I even asked you, dear reader, what pink salt was for, but instead of answering, you praised my writing. So today, I used it. A couple of pinches here and there. Then, of course, I added our good old regular salt, the one we all grew up with, the one that went to a universal primary education school. That's where the ancestors were supposed to step in. You know the rule. Shake the shaker until you feel the silent ancestral whisper telling you to stop. But the ancestor assigned to me today had a stutter. One too many shakes later, disaster struck. The result? My food was saltier than the Dead Sea. Every promising flavour drowned under an avalanche of sodium. My taste buds revolted, convinced I was eating some sort of repentance meal, punishment for unspoken sins. It was so salty that for the first time in my life, I understood NaCl, the chemical formula for salt.